And here we go. If you want Matt Stafford on the Giants, if you want the Giants to trade for Matt Stafford, go down right now, hit that thumbs up icon. The Matthew Stafford New York Giants rumors are officially on fire. You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. We have been following this story for a long time on this channel, dating all the way back to the preseason of the 2024 season. Then the rumors started to heat up around the trade deadline, and now they are on fire. Going back to when the Rams talked about they were going to trade Cooper Kupp. And then Matthew Stafford's wife saying that they are looking maybe for a new adventure. And then today, the New York Giants are hiring Bills wide receiver coach Chad Hall. Now, what does that have to do with Matthew Stafford? We'll just read the whole quote from Mr. Shefty. The Giants are hiring former Jags and Bills wide receiver coach Chad Hall. Hall now reunites with his former Bills colleagues Brian Daboll and Joe Schoen in New York. Hall also is the brother-in-law of current Rams QB Matthew Stafford. Now, why would Adam Schefter say that? You think Schefter's just throwing that in there because he saw Giants Now by Chat Sports is talking about Matt Stafford and the Giants? He's a calculated man. That's all I'll say. Dan Duggan says this: Hall came up as a possible addition to Daboll's initial staff, but I believe he was blocked from leaving Buffalo. Now he ends up as the assistant QB coach after spending the past 6 years as a wide receiver coach. Interesting last nugget for Schefter to include. Do we really think this is still nothing? Do we really think Adam Schefter is just doing this for shits and gigs? I don't know. Well, let's start with this. Who the hell is Chad Hall? Chad Hall, who is he? Wide receiver coach, right? Well, he still is, he remains the older brother of Kelly Stafford. Kelly married to Matthew Stafford. Chad Hall, he was the Bills' offensive assistant in the 2017 and the 2018 season. He was their wide receiver coach in 2019, 2020, and 2021. Then he was the Jacksonville Jaguars wide receiver coach in 2023 and 2024. Offensive assistant, wide receiver coach. And then he was in the NFL as a wide receiver from 2010 to 2014. Wide receiver, offensive assistant. And now he is the assistant QB coach for the Giants. I went and looked. Chad Hall has never been a QB coach. Never in high school, never in college, never in the NFL. He's been a wide receiver coach. And now he's here as an assistant QB coach with Matthew Stafford, rumors heating up, and the Giants needing a quarterback. And Malik Neighbors saying he wants a veteran quarterback. And Eli Manning saying the Giants should go out and get a veteran quarterback. Adam Shefty, you are one slick dude, my man. Shefty said what he said for a reason. Look, I'm not trying to blow smoke up your butts. I'm just connecting the dots, and I'm hoping the X on the map has a big treasure chest full of Matthew Stafford New York Giants rumors and jerseys. They're heating up. That we are officially at this point. The Giants and Stafford rumors are real, and I would be shocked if there at least hasn't been a conversation inside of 1925 Giants Drive about this man, Super Bowl champion, being a New York Giant. Let's take it back. When NFL Network's Ian Rappaport said that Stafford's future with the LA Rams is up in the air. That was the first spark of this unreal rumor trail. Stafford says he's going to take time to think about his NFL future. That's what he said immediately after the season when the Rams ended up losing to the Philadelphia Eagles in the divisional round of the NFC playoffs. The reason the Rams moved is because of the contract. The contract would need to most likely be reworked if he is going to remain a member of the Rams because there is no guaranteed money on this contract at all any longer. Here's what it looks like. He has a $49.6 million cap hit, an extremely high number. If you made him a pre-June 1 cut, you save no money, $333K, and you have a dead cap hit a 49.3K. If you make him a post-June 1 cut, you save $23 million while taking on a $26.6 million dead cap charge. This right here is way more likely than this. But I think a trade is probably what is most likely. Yes, you would only save $4.3 million, but maybe the pick that you get back would be more valuable than just the money that they would save in a trade. Something is going to happen with Stafford. A new contract. He's going to stay with the Rams. He's going to get cut, or he's going to get traded. Could it be the Giants? Malik Neighbors is going out of his way to just tweet randomly 9 and 10 Ram emoji, eyeball emoji. All right, he just did that once. Okay. Then the very next day, number 9 and a Ram emoji. And then the very next day, number 9 and a Ram emoji. What are you trying to tell us, Malik? Well, he told Matthew Berry this on Radio Row. It's a pretty good riddle. I don't know if everybody will solve this. I'm not giving it away a lot, but I feel like people know what I'm aiming for. And then Berry said, well, tell us about Stafford, if that's who you're talking about. He said, his arm talent is crazy. His sidearm is crazy. The way he throws the ball, his angles, it's crazy. He knows the defense. He's a veteran QB. He led that team to the playoffs without those receivers he was playing with at the beginning of the season when they were hurt. Then, when he got him back, he was able to do a lot of great things. I like the way he throws the football. I do too, Malik. I think it'd look pretty cool if we saw Stafford, number 9, throwing to Malik Neighbors, number 1. I'm getting chills just thinking about the idea. But you know what? It's probably nothing that Malik Neighbors is tweeting at him, right? What about your starting right tackle, Jermaine Illuminor? Quote tweeting Sharp Football, whose tweet originally was about Kelly Stafford complaining about the Rams trading Cooper Kupp. Illuminor says New York is an adventure, and we respect 9. Remember, in that tweet, Kelly Stafford said, we love an adventure. All right, so Neighbors tweets about him. Illuminor tweets about him. I went to go look up the tweets again today, and they have been deleted. Now, why on earth would Malik Neighbors and Jermaine Illuminor have to delete their tweets? Do you think they just woke up one day and said, you know what, I regret those tweets, let's delete them? Or do you think somebody from inside the building at 1925 Giants Drive called them and told them to delete those tweets? And now the New York Giants have hired Stafford's brother-in-law to be on the staff. Maybe all this is just coincidence. Maybe this is people bored in February looking to stir up some controversy on Twitter. But I do believe where there is smoke, there is fire. And I do believe that Malik Neighbors wants Matthew Stafford to be a Giant. And Malik Neighbors told us that the Giants are keeping him in the loop and listening to him about what quarterback is going to be here next year. And Jermaine Illuminor is tweeting about him. And then he's deleting him. I don't think this is dead. I don't think it's the last time that we'll talk about it. And I am now in a spot where I think I am more confident that this will happen than I ever have before. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not saying it's absolutely going to be a thing. It's a little more likely today than it was yesterday, and the day before that, and the day before that. And we're going to continue to follow this story. So subscribe. Coming up next, why would Matt Stafford want to be a Giant? Because that's a major piece of this. And what's the price? You got to come to an agreement on a deal. What will the price be? And will Stafford want to come play here? We'll talk about that in a second. First, though, I got to give a major shout out to our proud sponsor, Z-Biotics. Use that promo code ChatSports, and you're going to get 15% off your first order. Today's sponsor is Z-Biotics. Anyone who may not bounce back after a night of drinking as well as they used to should listen up. Let's face it, when going out, I have to make a choice. I can either have a great night or a great next day. That is, until I found Z-Biotics Pre-Alcohol. Pre-Alcohol is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. It's this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next day. Pre-alcohol produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. Just remember to drink this probiotic before drinking alcohol, drink responsibly, and get a good night's sleep to feel your best tomorrow. So stay in the loop and go to zbiotics.com/chatsports or scan the QR code on the screen right now to get 15% off your first order when you use code ChatSports at checkout. I've got 3 bachelor parties coming up, and ZBiotics will be my right-hand man to make sure I don't burn out halfway through. Remember, head to zbiotics.com/chatsports and use the code chatsports at checkout for 15% off. Thank you, ZBiotics, for sponsoring this episode and our good times. All righty. Why the Giants, and what's the price? I thought it would be irresponsible of me if I did not show this quote from Kelly Stafford. Yes, I love the city of LA. I love the city of LA. With that being said, I love an adventure. And that is why Illuminor talked about New York being an adventure. I think the Staffords, the Kelly and Matt Stafford household is pissed the hell off that the Rams are trying to trade Matthew Stafford's best friend, his longtime teammate, his compadre, and his Super Bowl champion buddy. I think that he is extremely pissed off about that. And I think the Los Angeles Rams are facing reality and looking themselves in the mirror. Aaron Donald retired. We're trading Cooper Kupp. Matthew Stafford's 36 years old. Seems like this could be the end of the era for the LA Rams. And let's not forget, Sean McVay already thought about retiring once or twice from the NFL. So I do think Stafford is maybe looking for greener pastures somewhere else. But why the Giants? Try to come up with 5 reasons. 1, the New York Giants have the best media market in the world. The number 1 sports media market in the world. You also have a young star wide receiver in Malik Neighbors. If you're going to go play for a new team, you want to play with someone that's great. And Malik Neighbors, I think he's going to end next season, and we're going to be talking about him as a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL. You also have an offensive-minded head coach in Dable. If you're going to leave Sean McVay, if you're going to leave the offensive guru, the quarterback savant, boy wonder, you want to go play for another QB-centric head coach. Also, you have a chance to be the savior. Like, you have a chance to be looked at as the guy that got the New York Giants back on track to competing, to remove the dark clouds away from this organization. And what if the New York Giants tell Matthew Stafford this? If you come play with us, we'll sign your buddy Cooper Kupp in NFL free agency. Because the Rams can say they're trying to trade Cooper Kupp. Nobody is trading for Cooper Kupp, especially not anything of value. Cooper Kupp would have a cap charge, of $20 million for any team that he goes to. Oh, and you just hired his brother-in-law as the assistant QB coach. So maybe you'd have his best friend inside the building. Besides that, I got nothing else. I'm not going to lie. The Giants aren't the most sexy destination for Matthew Stafford. I can keep that a buck. Yeah, you get to play in the best media capital for sports. You get to play with neighbors. You get to have Brian Dable. Maybe you get to add your buddy Cooper Kupp. But I got nothing else. It would cost the Giants only saying only is crazy there, but when you compare it to NFL terms, only $26.9 million for Stafford if they trade him. If a team trades for Kupp, it's $20 million. I don't think that's going to happen. I think they are going to cut Cooper Kupp. I think the Giants could sign him for 1 year, $8 million, and pair him with his buddy Matthew Stafford. What's the price, though? What's the price? What a song. I don't know. Pick number 3 is off the board, though. I'm not trading a first-round pick for Matthew Stafford. I'm also not trading the 3rd pick to get their first-round pick back. Not in discussion. But I'd be more than willing to offer pick 34, the 2nd pick in the 2nd round. Would you make this trade? Would you trade pick 34 in the 2025 NFL Draft for 36-year-old QB Matthew Stafford? Type A for accept. Type D for decline. Yes. Yes, you do this deal. Absolutely. Stafford guaranteed has 2 more years at an elite clip, and maybe more. And maybe him changing scenery makes him want to compete that much longer. I would absolutely do that. I think a lot of people will say, Marshall, we can't give that up for an older quarterback. You're trading for arguably the best. He's a top 5 quarterback in the NFC. I can't say the best quarterback in the NFC because the loser up in Philly finally got one. But yeah, you'd still be trading for an elite quarterback. Did we see how well he played against the Eagles? Did we see that he was 1 throw away from leading the Rams to the NFC title game? Yeah, you make that deal. The question I have is, do you still draft a QB at number 3? Do you still add a Shedeur Sanders at pick number 3 and have Matthew Stafford be the engine and the quarterback of this team for the foreseeable future and then have a natural passing off to Shedeur Sanders? Or do you say F it and draft Travis Hunter number 3 overall? And you tried out an offense after you signed Cooper Kupp of Neighbors, Kupp, Stafford, Hunter, and Tyrell Tracy. Look, I don't know. You don't win a Super Bowl with this. I don't even know if you win the NFC East with this. But you win enough games for the season to not be over in October or December. Or maybe even the season could still be alive in Week 18. Neighbors, Kupp, Stafford, Hunter, Tyrone Tracy. I kind of like it. Make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on IG at @MarshallGreen_. Hit me up, and let's go Big Blue.